you've all known this was coming. Last night, a finance committee meeting at the council level. Of course, we have Vice Mayor Epley and Councilman Sanders here, so they got to hear the spill. So the city council from the administrative council level is on the verge of possibly financing to build this city center. So to be consistent with our policies and procedures and site planning, design review, the city's following the same steps as everybody else would do. So they're ready to submit that. Our engineering team here, the Public Works Director Brett Stock and Assistant Director Cooper Morris, which is both our engineers, been working diligently on this project. So they're going to hear for any specific questions that the commission has. But just the step one was the design review. As you can see the rendering, there's a couple more slides in there if you want to see it. Most of you have probably seen some of those already. Ms. Harrington put together some comments from a staff report. I'll yield to her in just a few minutes, but all those have been submitted to Mr. Cooper Morris. They've made some changes, and everything appears to be in order as far as the design review first. So we'll get to the site plan later in the agenda, and there's a couple of items to talk about more in depth there. But right now, there's the rendering. I yield my time to Ms. Harrington, and then Cooper's here as well for questions.
Amanda?
Thank you. In my staff report, I list some of the discussions for the design review. I'm including some of the main tenets for design review, where we talk about clearly establishing development character and scaling for new infill development, including window and door openings with area ratios and proportions. Key design elements of surrounding buildings with respect to windows, doors, and rhythm of bays, detailing roof forms, materials, and colors. Roofs that visible from the road shall be finished with colors and features consistent with the architecture of the facade. Building forms being tailored to fit within existing topography and site features. As Mr. Pilkington noted, there is a rendering up on the screen and several more that follow. Staff finds that the submitted design review materials are in substantial compliance with the requirements of the City of Dickson Design Review Manual and recommends approval.
Thank you. Does anybody have any comments or questions on now this is the design review for the city center? If not, we'll welcome a motion to accept approve the design review that's submitted.
I'll make a motion for approval.
Okay, I've got a motion and I need a
Second.
I've got a second. Sherry, would you call the roll, please?
Petty.
Aye.
Cardwell.
Aye.
Sanders.
Aye.
Sherrod.
Aye.
Pruitt.
Aye.
James.
Aye.
Bentley.
Aye.
McNeil.
Aye.
Pass.
Thank you. Okay, the next item in design review has been deferred, so we'll move on to the first item in new business. The City of Dickson is to request site plan approval for the new city center located downtown on East Walnut Street, and the map and parcels are noted in the minutes. Jason?
Thank you, Chairman. Yeah, just following up again, the reason all the parcels are included is because that is part of the overall site. We worked on the rezone and kind of cleaning up that block. The city bought the little White House to the left of the existing police department now. So as you can see in your packet, you kind of went through that before the meeting anyway. So that just kind of really just depicts every aspect of the city, new city center for downtown. There again, as far as the comments from Ms. Harrington, she kind of goes through the checklist. We've been working with our engineer team in-house anyway. A lot of the revisions are in there. One thing to note, and I'm going to probably turn that over to Cooper real quick, is in the ordinances we passed recently, talking about retainer walls, there was a maximum height limit. It was kind of on the borderline of this being vested, but there could be one conditional approval tonight as far as this site, that the retainer walls will be about 14 feet versus 10. So there may be some flexibility from a BZA standpoint just on the overall site. And I'll let Cooper talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But just to kind of set the stage, in the packet shows all the sites, shows all the utility work. There's several aspects as far as on-site utility work and off-site. A lot of utility upgrades, a lot of utility companies. It's been a very huge collaborative effort from everybody in the city staff, engineering, even utility companies and mayor and city administrators. They've been working on it for a year, I think. So anyway, I'm going to yield my time to Mr. Cooper Morris, engineer, and then Ms. Harrington can kind of follow up on the end sentences of the staff report that was submitted to engineering. So.
All right. Good evening, everybody. So Cooper, I'm with your public works team. As I think many of y'all are aware, we're designing all these projects in-house. So that's what your team's doing. So we did pass an ordinance related to retaining walls, have some challenges with that. On this one in particular, we've got 14 foot from essentially floor to floor. So that's the elevation that's established. The way we've designed this, there's on-grade access at the basement level, first and second floor. So with that condition, that's naturally going to make the retaining wall that's directly outside or adjacent to that door 14 foot. We do taper them down to less than that, less than 10 through the parking lots and elsewhere, but that's the condition that's driving it. We also, from Walnut to South Mulberry, that existing grade in those tie-ins is largely what's driving that floor-to-floor elevation. For us to make that work, as well, mechanical spaces and some other things. It's listed on the cover, but there's some other ones as well that'll go to BZA. But just so everyone's aware, parking requirements are 177 spaces per code. For office building, we have 143. That includes a few improvements to Walnut with some on-street parking. Our team studied it. It's more than double what's down there today. We feel that that's appropriate for the use. So we're requesting that. There is no real need for loading here. We do have a sally port that would be used by PD, so that's accounted for. So we're asking for a reduction from 6 loading spaces to 0. That's appropriate for the use. Our team has studied that. And then there's a building height. So this dimension seems large from what you're seeing, but it's directly tied to the atrium and then also the basement condition. So total height would be 57 feet 8. Max height in this district is 40 feet. So the basement's what's driving that condition to that height. So those are all things that are listed. Happy to answer any questions on those, as well as on the site as well.
Cooper, is there a restriction? I mean, I understand what our ordinances are. Is there a restriction for why the height was set at that other than just city planning concept? It's not related to safety features.
Mm-hmm. No, our fire department's been involved in this. We can service this building as well as, I believe, up to 7 stories. So we're more than comfortable to do that. We likely would continue to keep it from a BZA approach for now. We do like the control related to what's going on in the downtown district with heights. So it is something that we're looking to potentially increase in the future as well. And that likely I would imagine, would come with some of the efforts that's going on with the downtown district as well.
I'm one of the people whose computer isn't showing. Do we have a rendering of the side with the retaining walls that he's speaking of?
It doesn't show it very well.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing that either.
It doesn't show it very well. So it's on the PD side, which is on South Charlotte, kind of where 911 building is. So
yes, sir.
It'll generally look when you're down going into PD on the lower level today. It's the same elevation there. And all these walls, they won't be plain concrete. We're going to do a form liner or some other thing, surface treatment on that. But it's not largely viewable from the main thoroughfare between Walnut. It would be viewable from Chestnut and South Charlotte, but that's more as back of house as the back of house can be on this building. Everything's designed because you can see it as the front of the building. But we do have kind of a mechanic yard and some other things that's sunken down on the South Charlotte side.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Amanda?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So with the BZA applications that are going to have to be made for this site plan, staff would recommend that the site plan be approved contingent upon those BZA approvals. So if for any reason those BZA approvals were not approved by the BZA, the site plan would need to come back to this body for approval. And that would include the landscaping plan that was not included at the date of the writing of the report. It may have come in since then.
So I'll elaborate on that if that's okay.
Sure.
So we have it. We have a schematic design package associated with this, and this is similar to the aquatic center where we asked for the same condition. So what our process would look like is we likely will be in construction in the beginning middle of September. Our architectural team and the landscape team will finish their drawings sometime around that time and into October. So civil's leading that effort. We'll start construction, get foundations in, and then those items will be finalized. So that's the reason we asked for it. And that way it allows us a little bit more freedom on the design side, a little bit less, we'll say, rework as things are playing out and finalizing those items. So that's how we are proposing to manage the project. And so that's the reason for that request.
So again, just to reiterate, planning staff would recommend a conditional approval contingent on the approval of the BZA approving the BZA contingencies that Mr. Morris just outlined for you all.
Any questions from the commission on this?
I'm happy to try and go with that word salad. I motion that we approve these plans contingent upon BZA's approval of the contingencies that have been set forth. Yeah, I think that's it.
Very good.
Thanks.
Would somebody like to second that?
I'll second it.
We've got a motion and a second. Sherry, would you call the roll, please?
Petty,
Aye.
Cardwell,
Aye.
Sanders.
Aye.
Chair.
Aye.
Pruitt,
Aye.
James.
Aye.
Epley.
Aye.
McNeil.
Aye.
Passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving down, let's see, the next item is item 3 under new business. Stanley Oakley to request an alley abandonment at 116 Pond Road. That's map 103J, group B, parcel 018.00. The request sent to Public Works and Planning Commission will forward to council.
Thanks, Chairman. We're starting to see, more of these alley requests, and the mayor's office just kind of reiterated they like for us to, the planning commission, to meet with the applicant, talk to Public Works, kind of come here for like an application for a recommendation to council. So if there's any hard discussions, at staff level or something with Public Works, they'd rather do that here than council. So this recommendation that we're seeking still goes to council for a resolution to actually abandon it. You're just going to recommend it. So it's always the motion we need here. So this parcel for Mr. Oakley, he is here if you have any specific questions for him. But basically, there's a little, you can see how that lot kind of spurs out. There's a little section of that alley that still kind of borders their property, and they're only talking about that small section. At the staff level for that particular request for Mr. Oakley, we don't have a problem with. But speaking with the engineering team and the staff, we're going to go ahead and reiterate to all the other adjacent properties that that application for that section of the alley would be denied. We're going to make sure we keep the remainder portions because it does border Hensley Park. But as for Mr. Oakley, he's cleaning up his parcel only. That small section is the only position or the only motion we're looking for a recommendation tonight. So that probably does not make any sense. So if you got any questions, I'll try to reiterate that. And I think, did you have a staff? Okay, she didn't have a staff report on that one because it's there again. It's more staff to council. So just recommendation for y'all.
Could you clarify on this map what part you're speaking of? Is the blue shaded area the current property?
So that's the current property. So you see how it kind of dog legs?
Yep.
So they're trying to.
So
clean
it's that
Yeah.
non-blue shaded area that's directly behind it in the alley, correct?
Correct. They're just trying to clean this section up so their parcel is more consistent.
Mhm.
So that's, and correct, is it, Mr. Oakley, is that correct?
Yes. But mom had that house built, I think, I ain't just saying it open. And, when mom had that house built, it was through a home program, which was approved by, the city of the county. And on the left side, as you see there, they gave her 14 feet into the alley. And that little square box portion there is all they gave her. They didn't run it for some reason all the way across. And that's pretty much all I'm asking for. Just run it straight across there to kind of even out with the rest of the property.
Speak correctly.
This is the full alley abandonment. So
Yeah.
that's. So
Well,
when
just, yeah, you want to clarify that just to make sure it's crystal clear for the record of the full abandonment, but the city's going to retain the remainder.
So when that portion was abandoned, the entire alley width was abandoned to the property owner. It should have only went, and if we would do it today, it would only be half the alley. Half would go, in this case, back to the city of Dickson. The other half would go to the property owner. Essentially, what we're saying, in order to clean up this lot line, we're requesting, or we're confirming abandonment of that whole portion of the alley just associated with that parcel. We'll also come back and staff will make the application to Planning Commission, and that should be on the next council agenda for us to abandon the remaining portions of the alley that you see on the neighboring parcels. From that point, if it's approved, we would then go in and we would address that with our boundary survey and some of our surveying partners to clean up that boundary line for that acreage to go back into the park system.
So what we will need with this is a recommendation to forward the request to abandon the alley to city council with a recommendation to approve it or not to approve it.
Yeah, to approve would be fine.
Okay.
And then there again, we'll clarify at the council
Okay.
level the same conversations because that's where they'll actually vote.
I make a motion to forward to council the recommendation to approve the request to abandon the unopened alley.
We'll
A
have
second.
We've got a second. Sherry, would you call the roll, please?
Petty,
Aye.
Harwell,
Aye.
Sanders,
Aye.
Sheriff.
Aye.
Pruitt,
Aye.
James.
Aye.
Epley,
Aye.
McNeil.
Aye.
Pass.
Thank you. Okay, we're on, keeping on the same subject. Next item, Paul Twos to request an alley abandonment behind Laurel Court condominium located on West College Street and Laurel Avenue. The request was sent to Public Works and Planning Commission will forward to council. Jason?
Went too far. Is Mr. Paul here? He may not be here. It's that. Same thing, same format, made application, Public Works, has looked at it. We have no need for that area. They don't have any objection to the request. They're just trying to, we're not giving them the property. We're just abandoning the right. They'll have to go through title and try to obtain that percentage or whatever, if it's 20 feet or 10 feet. We're just abandoning the right to it. So no objection from the staff or Public Works for the request, and looking for recommendation to go to council.
Any questions, comments, or a motion?
Jason, where is it at on this?
It's, yeah, sorry, it's kind of hard to see that. It's this section back here. See how that right away, so you kind of see it, this was never improved. It's just woods and trees. So typically, as you've been seeing, they can try to obtain that property back. And, this property owner may want half of it or may not want it all. And they can add that footage back to this parcel. But they're responsible for those title searches and that surveying, and the city does not do any of that. We just abandon the right, and then they can try to go obtain it. I've seen them obtain all of it, and I've seen them reach out to the neighbor and they split it. They get 10 feet, neighbor gets 10 feet, and the surveyor will go back out and do another legal description of that parcel, and it just goes away. But there again, just to reiterate, they ask for the conversation is to be here on the front end, and then go to council with a resolution. So if there's any issues that maybe we do not recommend it, have those hard conversations at this level and not at council.
So this is mostly, it's a strip of land.
It's
an alley in name, but
yeah, it was
I was
just
trying to figure out where it was because I'm thinking there's no alley.
yeah, you can't see it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of old areas, this dates back before city had zoning. So a lot of plats called out what they called a city alley, but it never really was. And the way we kind of explain it to people now, if it's not improved today, we probably don't need it. Not in every instance, but if there's not an alley that you can drive down today, we probably don't need it. So.
Chairman, I make a motion for approval to forward to council for the abandonment of the alley behind Laurel Court for approval.
Very good. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. Sherry, would you call the roll, please?
Betty.
Aye.
Barnwell.
Aye.
Sanders.
Aye.
Sheriff.
Aye.
Pruitt.
Aye.
James.
Aye.
Epley.
Aye.
McNeil.
Aye.
Pass.
Thank you. Okay. Next item, William Hosteller to request rezoning of 42.2 acres of property located on Highway 46 South. This is behind TriStar Natchez Emergency Room. It's map 129 parcel 088.00 from B3 Highway Commercial to R3 Highway High Density Residential for single family townhome development, and rezone a portion of property approximately 3 acres located at Highway 46 South and Nails Creek Road. And that's map 135 parcel 1.01 from R3 to B3. This is a map revision from an earlier rezoning approval.
Okay, so that's a mouthful, Mr. Chairman. Sorry for the long context of the agenda item, but it was important to try to explain it the best we could. So I'll set the stage and I'll yield my time to the applicant and Miss Harrington. But the parcel that's highlighted is what we're talking about tonight. I think there's about 42 acres there approximately. And it's currently zone B3. Hosteller Group owns parcel 1.01, which is probably about 100 acres. We rezoned that to R3 a long time ago. There's been some planning, pre-planning meetings on that. But as at this point, it has not been developed. They have recently obtained this additional parcel. And then the parcel that sticks out by the hospital out there, they kept it commercial. But when we rezoned that originally in the larger parcel, is we kept a section of the front commercial. But we just simply didn't have a very good line other than we just kind of drawn a line on a map. Now that they've done more planning and more design work, there is a blue line stream that you can see in your exhibit that comes out down across that front parcel. So we're trying to now have a more definitive zoning line using the creek and just change that little small section to match the commercial frontage. What we passed out here from the applicant is some additional documentation for your packet that shows maybe some ideas on the commercial part. We didn't have that before, but he did bring that tonight for maybe some discussion. But there again, we're trying to focus on just cleaning the commercial portion up, to follow the stream. That makes sense. And then the 42 acre tract is zoned B3. They feel that at the staff level feels that's a better use to match the zoning of the larger tract. And there again, in your exhibit, you can kind of see a basic concept. But there again, you're not approving any of those concepts. You're just approving the land use tonight or the recommendation. They go to council, set public hearing, all the same format. So we're trying to just kind of hyper focus on the land use of the parcel. And there's some exhibits to kind of give you an idea of what they're looking at, and then cleaning up the commercial part. So I hope that makes sense. I did my best. So I'll yield my time to Ms. Harrington. And then of course, Mr. Hosteller is here as well. Amanda?
Thank you, Chairman. The applicant is seeking, as Mr. Pilkington adequately described, the rezoning of two parcels located at the intersection of 46 and Nails Creek Road. The purpose of the rezonings is to facilitate an overall development project of commercial and high-density residential housing at the location. Staff's recommendation is approval. The rezoning request is consistent with the zoning in the area along both Highway 46 and Nails Creek Road. Thank you.
Mr. Hofstadter, anything to add, clarify, share?
I'm good if y'all are good. I mean, I'm here for questions, and the commercial zoning, the way we did it originally, like Jason said, I would have had to build a bridge across a blue line stream to access 2 or 3 acres. And you know, I've had all kind of studies done. One of them is that right there is a stream study that was approved by the Corps of Engineers. And you can just see the blue line stream down, and I can come up there and point if I need to.
I think it's on
It's on there, but it's just going to clean up the commercial. Those couple drawings that look like this, one of them has a Kroger's and one of them has a Publix. And I did that to show that they fit better inside the blue line stream that's on there. And then on the balance of the 42 acres, it just, when HCA developed all the frontage, it left 42 acres back there that really has no commercial value, in my opinion. And it just fits into the subdivision as I've shown on the top drawing, is why we did that, just to show how it would all blend together. Plus building some little cottage apartments behind the new school, I think will help the school. And those apartments are all 1-story, little 1 and 2 bedroom cottages.
Okay.
So I'm here for questions if you need me.
And just the last little iteration there, we did meet at staff level. There has been a traffic study, impact study that's done. We have it. Of course, it's submitted to the state. The state will kind of drive the car on what's required as far as an impact study. So there again, this being, step one of many, of just trying to lock down the best use of the land by a zoning perspective. You're going to see all this come back after, if it's passed at council at a rezoning request, that's where it will go. Then you'll see this all come back to planning commission at this level for site planning, pre-planning with design and in-house, what the traffic study yielded, at what phases, traffic improvements are to be, initiated based on the density as they build it. So yeah, just those questions have been asked at staff level too, and they have that. But there again, we're only talking about the application for the 42 and cleaning up the front on the commercial. There again, it's a recommendation request tonight, and then we'll go to council for a public hearing, and we'll do all this again at that level that for the council that may have some additional questions.
Still don't have anything?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't have anything additional to add, no.
Okay. So what we're looking for is a motion forward to council with a recommendation to approve or deny.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to forward to council for approval.
I've got a motion to forward to council with recommendation to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
We've got a second. Sherry, can you call the roll, please?
Betty.
Aye.
Cardwell.
Aye.
Sanders.
Aye.
Sheriff.
Aye.
Pruitt.
Aye.
James.
Aye.
Epley.
Aye.
McNeil.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Y'all have a good evening.
Okay, next item. Oregon Ready Mix plant to request site plan approval for a plant located on Reliance Road. It's map 119, parcel 033.00. Concept plan at, Planning Commission and BZA special permit was approved in June of 2026.
Okay, so, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, in your packet, you've seen the request and the information submitted. Just for the record, was clarifying once again, being a concrete plant, there was just a kind of a technicalities for a special use permit. We went through that process that we've done with the other plants that are here. So all that went fine. They submitted, we had some staff comments, had some engineering comments too. I believe the only thing that was pending or lacking at the moment was in our new regulations that talked about site planning, there was the need for a landscape architect now submitted. So they're working on that. That's kind of a new checklist item for us, but it's warranted. There was some additional screening on maybe the firebox and stuff in the front for the that came from staff planning, pre-planning meetings. But I think everything is in order from my memory. hold on a second. I got the, do you want to go in? I do know, so I'll yield my time to Miss Harrington, but as far as the landscape architect, we don't mind covering that in-house, if it's a contingency, for a site approval. We did, push this back 1 month, and I believe there were some revised drawings that addressed, most of the comments. Okay. You don't have them. We've got representatives here. Would you mind just kind of going back over those initial comments? And you did send a revised plan. And I think the only thing, just to kind of just solidify what I said, I believe, understanding that the only thing was lacking was the landscape architect drawing to be added.
That's correct. You all had some revisions, comments. I'm Matt. I'm sorry, with Suter Civil in Clarksville. I'm the civil for the project, but we tried to address the comments that you had, and we had some of our own. I think we rotated and skewed the building maybe a few degrees from our initial concept drawing. So we were trying to get all that completed in house. I think we at least attempted to address everything that was on the previous comment sheet from staff, but I didn't find out till a few days ago, and I should have already known that you needed a landscape architect signature. So we're still working on procuring one of that. But that, as far as I'm aware, that's the only thing lacking. But we're open to whatever needs to be addressed.
Could I just ask you a couple of
Sure,
questions,
yeah.
if that's okay with the,
Yes,
with the
please.
chair? Could you confirm that the truck wash station on the east side is not in the side setback?
We actually revised it. We flipped it to the other side of the site this time. So
perfect.
initially
Okay.
it was a few feet within the setback. So
Okay,
you are
so
correct.
that's in this revised.
It was addressed with this
Okay.
revision. Yes.
Could you indicate the height of the buildings on the site?
I addressed it in the email. I believe it was 25 feet 8 inches to the to the
25.
ridge line.
Okay,
So,
all right. Is there going to be any proposed signage on the site? And if so, are there design details that are included?
I have asked that question of the architect and the owner, and I've not been made aware of any. So as far as I know, there's no signage.
Okay.
At least I have nothing to propose. You guys may have.
Okay.
Okay.
No signage, okay. And then we just talked about the landscaping plan. The location of waste storage areas and any associated screening details?
Yes, we added a dumpster location kind of in the corner of 2 vertical retainer walls that will stick up out of the ground, I guess.
Okay.
So it's there. It's a paved area all around. It should be, naturally screened from the public just by its, where it's located. But if you had any comments on that, we're open to move it wherever you think
Okay.
it's necessary.
I think with the responses from the applicant during this period of time, that staff recommends a contingent approval, contingent upon the landscaping plan being submitted. Thank you.
And Jason, you're comfortable handling the landscape in-house?
We will. They'll submit the civil design for staff, and we can catch it on that submittal in-house. There again, reiterate again, site approval is just one step. Then they go to civil design for our team before they ever get any kind of pre-construction meetings or grading permits for the actual project. So we can kind of catch some of those minor things on that level of it. So we don't mind doing that. It's not a huge site. So yeah, we're fine with that.
Can I ask a
Yes, sir.
question? In your pond design, are you including water quality volume in that as well?
That will definitely be part of the grading design. Yes.
We are blessed with non-supporting streams in this area, and just wanted to make sure that was covered. And if I could ask for one more thing for staff to
Yes.
take care of, if it's okay with
Please.
the rest of the
Absolutely.
members, is just an access to the pond for maintenance.
Okay.
I didn't see one on the site plan, just so you can get in there and clean it out when you need to.
Okay. That's fair.
Any other thoughts, comments, questions?
I'll make a motion to approve, subject to the landscaping measures that we discussed being included in Mr. James' comments.
Yeah, noted access to the detention pond and just there again at staff level on any kind of impaired streams on the grading. What was a little unique about this particular project was they done some rough grading out there. It's kind of pad ready, but there are going to be some adjustments to it. So there again for the civil design to get approval, they'll hit
Right.
those measures.
Right, I was just bringing up the water quality volume.
Absolutely. Yeah, we appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. Yes.
Second the motion.
I've got a motion and a second. Sherry, would you call the roll, please?
Petty,
Aye.
Cardwell,
Aye.
Sanders,
Aye.
Share,
Aye.
Pruitt,
Aye.
James,
Aye.
Beverly,
Aye.
McNeil.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, next item. Trent Smith to request site plan approval for Dragon Field Storage located on Gentry Circle. It's map 110, group D, parcel 001.05, and the property is zone B4. Jason?
I'll make it clear.
Okay, so you should have in your packet some comments. I believe there again, you're seeing this comment on a landscape architect requirement that we did not typically have in the past. So people are remembering that. So as they're sending things in, we're flagging that. So that will get cleaned up in the very near future. So that was another comment on this one. We did meet with Mr. Smith in-house with the design team. We've changed or suggested some changes, and what I laid on your desk tonight was a revised drawing. Should be just one page kind of showing that site. At our level, everything was kind of tweaked in-house through those reviews, and you have a one-sheet revision in front of you tonight that kind of addressed all of the pinch points. Basically, they went just when you come in, there's some parking to the right. They installed a handicap stall. They put a sidewalk by the door for the office area, and they went one way. The original one showed some two-way traffic that just didn't fit. There were some pinch points there that the engineering team flagged. So it's labeled as a one-way kind of in, kind of go around the building and come out. I think everything flows well. So from a site plan, the only other item was the landscaping. I got the nod that time. Was the landscape architect. There again, we can do that in-house. We don't have a problem doing that. They'll go back to the civil design, get those approvals, and show that.
Amanda?
I have nothing else to add, just the landscape architect.
Okay. Does the commission have any questions on this project?
Did changes in the parallel parking satisfy the dimension requirements? I don't remember what they're. what a
It-
standard
Yeah, we
interior space looks
it
like.
does. They added the footage, and I think on one side's got more of a 45-degree radius when they pull out on the revised drawing, and then the one shaded area for ADA is event accessible, appears to meet all of the shading requirements or the offloading requirements on the width.
I just remember vaguely from back in the day that the interior spots that were captured were longer than the exterior.
Yeah, they should be. I think they're 22,
They're 10 by 22.
10 by 20.
They originally were 10 by 20, like that, 10 by 22.
Yeah.
If you guys are okay with it,
Motion to approve and forward to council.
Got a motion to approve?
No, this one will stay here. This one will
Okay.
stay here. Yeah,
Got a motion to approve the site plan as presented?
just adding the landscape architect detail at staff level.
Correct. Very well said. Sherry, would you call the roll, please?
Petty,
Aye.
Cardwell,
Aye.
Sanders,
Aye.
Sharer,
Aye.
Pruitt,
Aye.
Kane,
Aye.
Epley,
Aye.
McNeil.
Aye.
Pass.
Thank you. Okay. Next item. Trent Smith to request preliminary plat approval for Blue and Bishop subdivision located on Blue Road. It's map 111, parcel 035.00. Previous preliminary plat request was denied by the planning commission in April 2026.
Yeah, the parcel highlighted is the one in question, and they're subdividing the front, and the denial came from trying to fix the driveways, and we try to see adjust the lot layout, and also solidifying the 50-foot access to the remainder was one, and then there was some possible, tracks that could come in later that we wanted that we flagged to say we didn't want you to build these few lots and then decide to do 10 more and 10 more. So they didn't plan to do that, but we asked them to come back on a resubmittal and show that any acreage in the back could be a track over 5 acres, not a plat. So if they want to come off of Bishop Lane and use the rear portion of the property for a single family home, that was doable, but it wouldn't be like a subdivision. So I believe they cleaned all that up on this portion here. There again, we had asked for some underground utilities. Are they under the wire on that one, or is that required? Okay. Okay, yeah. So it's in the transition of the new requirements for subdivisions. We talked about underground utilities and sidewalks and things of that nature. So
For the sake of it, just to make sure, staff recommends planning commission require if it's not required by ordinance.
right. Okay. That was the comment. So as far as the preliminary plat, there again, preliminary is exactly what it is. It's preliminary. So it gives them if they check the boxes on just the layout, then they they can get approval for a preliminary. Then they go to design. They've met with engineering. They understand there's going to be a civil design component to this particular subdivision. If that was to alter a lot or for whatever reason, you're going to see this one more time for a final plat to be recorded. That's kind of the Bible, is the way I explain it. So typically on preliminaries to final, sometimes you do see some tweaks of what the end result will be. But from a preliminary standpoint, we're asking that the planning commission review it, have any comments on utility requirements, underground, and I yield my time to Ms. Harrington to kind of explain what was the next process from any of your discussion to the preliminary.
Amanda?
Well, I think Mr. Pilkington explained it well. And as Mr. Morris just indicated, staff recommends that the Planning Commission make this a contingent approval for underground utilities on this particular plat. After this, as was explained, you'll see this again as a final plat, and it will be ready for recordation at that point. Happy to answer any questions you all may have.
Questions?
Yeah, I do have a question. The mail kiosk is not on a portion that I can tell is part of the subdivision. So I'm curious, is there gonna be an HOA or something to maintain the mail kiosk?
You want to speak to that? Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, there's actually, in the final, we'll show an easement in that area too, to kind of solidify that location for the kiosk.
It doesn't show as physically part of the plat.
Oh.
For that.
Well,
It's in the 50-foot.
yeah, it's in the 50
strip
foot. Yeah, we'll
going
show
back.
that a little easement to
Okay.
cover the kiosk. And we will have an HOA specific, that's the only common element at this time.
Okay.
And make sure that the mail kiosk has the minimum 2 required spaces.
Sure.
Yes, yes.
That's understood.
Yeah, that's hard surface is the key word, but that's understood. Yeah.
So we would recommend as well. So these aren't on our comments, I'm sorry. Staff would recommend planning commission to require all driveways for the site, mail kiosk, to be hard surface driveways. That's required by the catch-all ordinance, but we don't know exactly if they're when they submitted. So staff would recommend for planning commission to require that.
What does that mean? Is it like as opposed to gravel?
Concrete. Yeah, in that catch-all ordinance we did, all your driveway accesses from now on will be hard surface to keep gravel washing out in the road.
Yeah. The reason for that is it's a hazard to motorcycles. So that's the reason for that request.
So we'll need a motion if we want to approve the preliminary plat that it's got we're gonna encourage underground utilities,
Require
underground
utilities.
and require that the parking lots be hard surfaced.
Yes,
Is that it?
yes.
And there again, like I say, that the preliminary plat, their next step is to design. So when it comes back as a final plat, before they have to have a final plat recorded before they can go vertical. So there again, you'll see that final plat that will show those improvements. Because like I say, and you go to start design, if you miss a lot, then it'll be depicted on the final. So preliminary gets them vested, it gets them to design, and it gets them to start looking at utility work, unless they bond it a different way. But the final plats are recorded here, or actually recorded at the courthouse, but you'll sign off on the final plat before they go vertical. And they can't build until they get the grading permit from civil design. engineering in-house.
Have we approved subdivisions with gravel driveways?
We don't, subdivisions typically don't see it. You see it in just houses, spec houses on public ways, or lots on North Charlotte Street that were just built on. And a lot of people are doing it anyway on some of the redevelopment or newer homes, but there are some gravel connections that we've seen over the years, and we've had that on the books to do, but we went ahead and added that to the catch-all. So everything now is required for that. Just a cleaner look.
Make a motion to approve the preliminary plat, subject to the contingencies that we've mentioned here.
Do I have a second? Second. I've got a second. Sherry, would you call the roll, please?
But before we do that.
Oh, I'm
can-
sorry.
Can I ask that we add that third contingency? I know we mentioned the first two, but make sure the HOA mail kiosk issue property gets added in as well.
Yeah, that's definitely noted.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
sorry.
no, you're good. I
thought we
appreciate
were
that.
Covering two contingencies.
Yes, no, we got it noted. Thank you for that. Yes.
Mr. Chairman, my apologies.
No
for
worries.
interrupting.
No apologies necessary. Sherry, would you call the roll, please?
Eddie.
Aye.
Cardwell.
Aye.
Sanders.
Aye.
Sheriff.
Aye.
Pruitt.
Aye.
James.
Aye.
Epley.
Aye.
McNeil.
Aye.
Pat.
The only reason I said it that way was they could shift it over to the actual one of the lots and lose a lot and not need an HOA per se. But usually with mail kiosk, with the way the postmaster delivers mail now, they highly encourage those. So there again, when you put that in that amenity, there has to be something that helps maintain it. So yeah, I appreciate it.
Okay. Jason, is everything still?
Yeah, so number 9 has been withdrawn along with the stormwater committee, and then the public hearing on the Hope Road. All those items have been withdrawn, and just kind of since we're live streaming now, which we're really excited about, we're getting a lot of good compliments on that. So if someone's following along tonight and didn't understand, the Hope Road withdrawal was because there's some other development potential right adjacent to that property that's actually already in the city. So we met with them, met with the staff. The applicant again apologized for not being here last month. He felt ill, but we felt like it was a better application if they waited to submit the design idea on the property that's already in the city and just pick up those other 4 parcels later, just for some connectivity and some road improvements that's probably going to be done then. So they was total agreement with that. They said that was a lot better idea than they had. So there again, they withdrew the Hope Road annexation request, and the other items that were deferred or withdrawn. It's just part of the new planning process, and I'll hit on that real quick since we're fixing to wrap it up. Is working with Ms. Harrington that we've always done, and now we're fortunate to have Cooper Morris, along with Brett, doing some more design work in house, and we're evolving. So we apologize how we kind of spitballed some of the comments to you on this application, but what we're going to is some of the larger projects will probably have a 2-month pre-planning process for us to kind of nail down all of the ins and outs of those projects. Everything's unique. So you'll hopefully in the near future on the larger projects, you'll see a staff comment and then some engineering comments. And hopefully a lot of those things are worked out. But for the most part, when you get your packet, it'll be a little cleaner, and a lot of these harder conversations are kind of being done more on the planning side now that we have some additional help on the engineering end of it. So it's it's evolving as it should. We're really excited about it. It's just going to help everybody that we don't have anything that kind of sneaks by us, or we're in here trying to work on contingencies. You know, the landscaping plan, that's an easy one because that is a pretty new requirement, but it's a warranted requirement. They're not that expensive, and most every town, especially our size, have been doing that for a long time. So all the civil engineers actually are excited about that requirement because we let civils kind of draw those in, and they'd rather not do that. So they're all in agreement with that new requirement. So, but other than that, we appreciate y'all, and we're sorry this kind of got shotgun comments to you, but we're cleaning that up at the staff level, and it's starting to smooth out. There'll be a couple more months to kind of get up and running the way exactly how we want to do it. But we're excited about it. So,
Very good. Any other comments for staff or people in general? And does anybody want to make a comment tonight at the conclusion of our meeting? Thank you.
Motion for adjournment?
I've got a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
We're out of here. Thank you very much.
thank you.
Mr. Stock, good to see you tonight.
Sherry.